My name is Miriam from Gigi's Bridal, a high-vibe bridal boutique in Fort Lauderdale. If you found our segment, chances are you haven't started looking for your wedding just yet and you're doing your research, or you've tried on a few and you're starting to feel a bit stuck. Either way, welcome. Each week we break down and slow down all things wedding day attire and aim to simplify your journey to saying yes to your dress. We promise to always keep it real and keep it honest. If you have questions about anything you hear today or would like to hear about in the future, I promise you're not alone and we'd love to tackle it together. Last week's segment, we covered why to shop at Gigi's Bridal. High Vibe Bridal Boutique goes beyond the energy and the decoration that you find at our bridal boutique, but it sets the intention and the mindset from the moment you walk in the door to the moment you say yes to your dress. Today, we're taking a little bit more of a technical look at wedding dresses. We're talking about why wedding dresses have trains, things to consider, and different types of trains when you're trying on different wedding dresses, what to keep in mind. Now, trains, much like veils, get a bad rap. Initially, brides can come in and say, I don't really want a veil and I don't really want a train. Trains are the drama behind your wedding dress. Whether it's short or long, the extra fabric in the back is what gives your wedding dress that bridal feel. We promise, much like veils and trains, try it on. You'll never know what surprises you, and wedding dresses are like nothing you've tried on before. And so putting something on like a veil or a train can really change how you feel about your wedding day look. Now, when we talk about trains, sometimes brides come in and say, I'm having an outdoor wedding or a beach wedding and I can't have a long train. At Gigi's Bridal, we believe that the only determining factor in what dress you wear on your wedding day is the dress that you love. You want a ball gown at a beach wedding? Great. If you love that ball gown, that's the dress you're going to wear to your beach wedding. If you have a long train and the dress that you love, but you're getting married outdoors, that's okay. We'll find a way to make the train work. There might need to be some logistical adjustments, but at the end of the day, the dress you love is the dress that you're going to wear. Another consideration for trains, especially if you have a long one, is how you're going to maneuver in that train throughout the wedding day. For the ceremony, it gives you that drama and that bridal feel, and it's a show-stopping element to your wedding dress, again, no matter how long or short it is. Keep in mind that into the latter half of the day, if you're having a reception, the train gets bustled into the back of the dress. Essentially, a bustle is when Alterations collects the train and adds a few buttons into the midsection of the back of the dress so it's picked up and out of the way and you can dance the night away or enjoy the rest of your evening however you're going to spend it. So those things in mind, just try it on. It doesn't matter where you're getting married and you're going to have a bustle for ease of moving around. Let's talk about the different kinds of trains when you're trying on your wedding dress so that you can get a sense of what different trains there are and be educated on the different trains. In the description of this video, we'll include wedding dresses at Gigi's Bridal that fit each of these kinds of trains so you have a reference point when trying on different wedding dresses. A sweeping train is about 6 inches longer than what would be the natural bottom hemline of your dress. It's a great way to add flair, but also a breezy and relaxed feel to your wedding day look. Most commonly, a sweeping train can be found on a fit and flare wedding gown, although some ball gowns and A-lines also have that effect, but fit and flares are a great way to balance that sweeping train with an otherwise fitted and sexy look. A court train is very similar to a sweeping train. However, a sweeping train comes out from the hemline. The court train flares out from the waistline, and so it has a more circular effect around the gown. Most commonly, this is found on an A-line ball gown or a sheath wedding dress. Court trains are known to have a very sophisticated and modern feel to them as well. The most common wedding dress train is called a chapel train. This extends about 12 to 18 inches beyond the bottom hemline of the dress, so it's about twice as long as that sweeping train that we talked about. A chapel train adds an element of drama, but it doesn't add that extra hassle that might come with what we'll talk about as a cathedral train. A chapel train is the most common kind of train on a wedding dress. It's about 12 to 18 inches beyond the bottom hemline of the dress, so about twice as long as the sweeping train that we talked about earlier. It adds drama and is noticeable without being over the top, and a plus is that it's not too much of a hassle to bustle or move in throughout the rest of your wedding day. A cathedral train extends about 22 inches beyond the bottom hemline of a dress. This is perfect for a black tie or formal wedding if that's your dress code. Cathedral trains are a statement as you move into your ceremony and are most found on a ball gown or A-line wedding dress. As we get into longer trains, keep in mind that you might want to assign one or two guests or bridesmaids if you have them to make sure that the train is fluffed out and remaining its shape throughout the day. A royal or monarch train is exactly what you expect it to be. Think Kate Middleton, whose wedding dress train was 9 feet long, or Princess Diana, whose wedding dress train was 25 feet long. These trains are royal to their core and isn't for the low-key bride. You may never get to wear a royal monarch train again, so consider seizing the opportunity to do so. Brides who opt for these kinds of trains sometimes go for a second look, and it's highly recommended to do so. These can be really difficult to bustle, and the dress is just going to get heavier as you pick it up and put it onto your body. So consider a second look. It's a fun way to incorporate another element of your personal style. The right wedding train will set the mood and tone for your wedding day. Consider carefully the options that you have and consult with your bridal stylist on what would be the best fit for you. Trains, like we've said, can surprise you. So if you're feeling a little hesitant or reluctant, give it a try, and you never know what you might end up falling in love with. As we talked about in the beginning, if you have questions about anything you hear about today or would like to hear about in the future, I promise you're not alone, and we'd love to tackle it together.